I think losing a pet is one of the most heartbreaking things a human being can experience. And I think it is at the same time a very spiritual experience. And I want to talk about pet grief, guilt, spiritual guides, and all of the things in between. So this weekend, I lost my pet Oliver, and it is so heartbreaking to me and my family. I do appreciate your kindness being here with me today. In my line of work as a psychic medium, I felt like it was important that I share because channeling messages right now, it doesn't feel entirely wrong, but I felt like I had to do this first. I had to share and be vulnerable here in this space first. So Oliver and I were very close. He was absolutely my companion. I didn't have the privilege of knowing him too deeply when I left home for college, but 2 years ago I moved back in with my parents. Very, very spiritual experience, very shattering experience. It was a full on phoenix death and rising moment, and he was there through all of it. And I am so grateful that he was, because I spent months in bed, in my room, isolated, but he never left my side. And I'm so grateful for him. And I do hope I can get through this video today without breaking down. But if I do, I do. I know that he was in my life to help heal me in some capacity, and he definitely did. I think that losing a dog specifically is spiritual meaning for a lot of things. And I think that sometimes dogs come to you, into your life, when you are going through something emotional. And that absolutely is what happened. I was grieving a chapter in my life that had closed. I moved from California back home to North Carolina. Things were very uneasy for me at the time, and honestly, Oliver was there to see all of it. He was so gentle and sweet. He comforted me, consoled me, and seriously just never wanted to leave my side. I really enjoyed the playful energy about him. He never really let me sit down for too long, especially when I started taking him for walks after climbing out of that depression, I guess. He was my boy, and losing him has changed a lot. And it's fresh, but I can already see how my life is going to be moved forward. There is guilt that I feel of not bringing him with me when I moved out last Halloween, and not seeing him more. I live about 2 hours away from where he was, but I am grateful that we got to spend a couple weeks together recently. I think if had I not had that opportunity, I think I would not be okay right now. But I know that he knew I loved him, and he's been telling me that. Just because they're not here in the physical does not mean that they're not present in the spiritual. It's so interesting how quickly the signs have been coming through of him and his presence, and I'm so grateful for that. Continue to send them to me, Oliver. I really appreciate it. I think the main thing is that we want to know that they're okay. And that's where we can help, prayer moves mountains, and it speaks things into the frequency. So whenever I found out the news, I immediately started praying to my spiritual guides and ancestors to help guide him into, the in between. This is where the spirits will hang out and reflect and decide what they're going to do. It is said that there are spirits who want to hang around. I mean, of course, we know this. Haunted houses are haunted because those spirits have chosen to stay in the in-between. They haven't decided to go onward into their next path, into their next lifetime. But I prayed over his transition, and I've been met with a couple signs so far. So in one of my favorite photos that I took of him, I took it at 143, which is the number of I love you. That really just broke me down. And 2 nights ago, I had a friend over, and we weren't even watching TV, but the TV went black and then it cut back on again, and the time was 143. There's a lot of beauty in paying attention to the small details of things, because that is how these spiritual beings can communicate to us. Just today, I was having a conversation with a friend about Oliver, and I was looking out into the backyard. And as I'm talking about him, a red cardinal comes and sits on one of the tree limbs, and it's just like I knew that was him. I knew it. It was so beautiful to immediately see, like, wow, you are literally here with me in this moment, and I can find some comfort in that. So before I sat down to record today, my plan was to give a channeled message on whatever came out. And as I'm cleansing my decks with some Palo Santo, 2 cards fall off of an oracle deck, and it's a picture of a dog. It's called Faithfulness, that's the card, and then the other card was Fortune. And I pulled 2 more cards. The next card was Death, and then the last was Merchant, which is like someone selling something, working on something of service. And I know the immediate message was, oh, I need to talk about grief, losing an animal, a companion, because someone needs me to share my experience. But the other message I got was from Oliver. I'm guiding you now. I'm guiding you into an abundant, fortunate life. I'm working behind the scenes. I love when spirit guides choose me and make it known. I mean, it's still very fresh, and I'm by no means rushing spiritual guidance from Oliver. Absolutely not. But to know that he has already chosen me is a beautiful thing. I would choose him over and over. I have this idea of him reincarnating as one of my children, maybe one day. We'll see. That would be really special. I'm finding spiritual meaning in all of this, as I do in everything in my life. But I think the spiritual meaning of losing a pet is to open you up in some way, is to change you and have you understand impermanence and vulnerability and love, unconditional loyalty. I'm sitting with it. I'm trying my best not to force or rush, and I do have the privilege of taking my time. But yeah, through this experience, I genuinely feel like I'm not going to be the same. And a little deeper, a little more personal thing for me to share is Oliver was a black dog. The goddess Hecate worked very closely with black dogs. Oliver came into my life during the time of me even learning about her and her practice specifically. And I can't help but to think that he was a protector, healer, and as he left the earth, I feel he absorbed a lot of negativity that has been infiltrating my life. And that's even more guilt that comes up. But I feel like I'm entering a new threshold because he has exited the earth. I'm so thankful for our walks, our talks, and his support. I mean, anytime that I would go live or give someone a reading, he always wanted to be in the room. And I thought that was really special and magical to experience or witness. I'm going to miss feeding him watermelon and cucumber and carrots, whatever I'm eating. I love him so much, and it's really hard for me right now, but I'm just taking it one day at a time and really doing my best to reflect on the good times. And my prayer is still the same, that my spiritual guides hold him through this transition. Thank you for holding space for me like this. I am praying for your heart too if you are experiencing loss in this way. It is not easy, but I do hope that I was somewhat of comfort for you today. Please keep me and my family in your thoughts and prayers. We'd greatly appreciate it. I'm going to do my best today to keep my vibrations high. I'm going to head to the beach and just be. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon.